Hey, in today's video, I wanted to just send a reminder about our mortgage trauma center. So we've had this that we've been, really working with for over 20 years, and I can say that, on average, we probably save one transaction for someone every single month. So wanted to just give you an example of the very last one that we were able to work on. So the listing agent who I know reached out to me and said, "Hey, this loan for these buyers just got denied." We were a full 30 days into the transaction and just about a week or so before closing. Okay, so I got involved, talked to the buyers, talked to the buyer's agent. What I found by working in the mortgage trauma center for 20 years is that usually the reason that the agent is told or the buyer is told is never really the real reason. So the reason they were given is the employer filled out something incorrectly in a verification of employment and said that the buyer was part-time. Okay, so that's all I had to go on. So went and spoke to the buyer. Turns out that they are 1099. Okay, so essentially in the mortgage world, they are considered to be self-employed. Okay, so it doesn't matter. There would be no verification of employment that's even done. Your income when you're self-employed is just derived from the previous 2 years of tax returns. Okay, so this is where it starts to get interesting. So I start getting their documents and find out that they were doing a VA loan, but with a $200,000 down payment. So at this point, they have already lost $800 for an appraisal and about $500 for an inspection for a loan that they were, as it turns out, were never ever going to get. Okay, first document that they send over are their tax returns and their 1099. Okay, the income for these borrowers on their tax returns, which is, of course, when you're self employed, that's what we're looking at, was, let's say, less than $20,000. I don't want to give exact numbers, less than $20,000 per year, which was not enough to qualify for anything. Like, so how did this buyer ever get a pre-approval from a large national bank? How did the bank go 30 days into the transaction before they realized this, when any lender who's been doing it for 6 months would look at that and say there's not enough income here to be able to do a loan? Okay, so the solution is, luckily, because of the size of their down payment, we were able to save the deal with a no income verification loan, and then they're closed and everything is good. So yeah, that's just an example of the kind of bad pre-approvals that are being done. And so if you have a transaction, whether it's your buyer or your seller, that's falling apart, I mean, we all know they're pretty, and transactions are hard to come by right now and hard to put together. So if you're at the 11th hour and that's happening, or you start to smell something's not smelling right, and communication drops off, things like that, please get us involved as soon as possible. With traditional loans, we can probably close it in 8 to 10 days. Non-traditional loans like this one, it took a little bit longer, but buyers and sellers were on board, and then at the end of the day, everybody closed. So feel free to reach out. We're always glad to help, and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.